I don't know what it is.
And is there something that says I forgot my password?
No.
Hey guys, I see 2 viewers. So if you click on the chat, you'll be able to ask questions. So make sure you find the chat window. I'm not sure where it is on the student version, but if you find the chat window, then you can ask questions. Well, you're going to have to get maybe somebody from another kid in your class.
Found it.
Big Poppy Michael. Who could that be? What? Yeah, but I don't think it's assignments. I think it's resources. You want to use my iPad? He said there's a lot of stuff on there.
It says latest. I went to backpack. No attachments. No folder.
I can't see you. You can only see me, Michael. I can see what you wrote, but I can't see your face. You can see me. It's kind of not fair, but that's the way it works. Megan, if you want to go get my phone. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my phone.
I found them.
Yep. What was it?
I found it.
What's there?
Chapter 4 notes and stuff. Thank you.
Yep. All right, so you guys have to ask me questions. That's how tutoring works. So in the meantime, I'm just going to be doing my thing here.
It's the same exact thing that I have.
There's no other activities on there to practice with? What's it on? I'm talking to my daughter about, she has this geography test tomorrow. What's on the test? What's it on?
I'm trying.
5 things of geography?
No.
Because that's what your test is on. Okay, 3 viewers. I guess you guys know everything. I'll wait a little bit to see if other people join, and then I'll give you an idea of some of the stuff that's on the test.
Like, it's a whole bunch of vocab words.
Like what?
Like polytheism and stuff like that.
Well, poly means what?
2
Many. And theo is what?
gods.
Why don't you get your cards?
Okay.
All right, so 4 viewers.
Pizza's gonna be here, Mama.
Yay. What, Meg?
How long until the pizza's gonna be here?
Not long. Okay, so what is the type of government? Really, Michael? You know what the types of government are. They're in a foldable in your notebook. So, there's no way that you didn't write that down or know what they are. So, I'm happy to talk about it if you have questions, but I'm pretty sure you know the types of government. And what they do. So you should use the foldable in your interactive notebook to answer those questions. There's also things on Edmodo. Let me go to Edmodo. Oh, I'll go on my iPad.
Like human resources and capital resources and
Can I see your notes?
yeah, why?
How'd you see them?
Yeah.
Do you have a specific question, Michael, about the types of government? Because I'm pretty sure you know what they are. Aren't you supposed to fill this stuff in?
That's the teacher.
Oh, these are the notes. Oh, you got this, Meg. And it's all this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If I think flashcards makes it hard because you don't know what it's talking about.
How?
Like, if you're looking at the study of human geography and then it has these questions, that's one thing. But if I just say well, I don't know. I guess maybe you could figure it out.
Because there's not going to be sectionalized by the chapter
Yeah.
on the test.
But you know this.
I know that you know that I know that I know.
Let's see. Oh, come on. 4 examples of primary economic activities.
I'm thinking. What?
Activities that make people money. What's a primary economic activity? All right, pizza's here, Abby. Thank you.
Primary activity is like something that firsthand.
Yeah.
Right online.
Yes, I did. So you can sign for me if you want. Okay, so Michael, yes, Megan. So 4 things that people do firsthand to make money.
Farm.
Yep, that's one.
Work, like in a factory.
No, it all has to do with the environment. All right. So Michael, I'm just saying, I'm looking for the examples I put on there.
Okay.
All right, Meg, you can go eat, honey, and I'll quiz you in a bit, okay? Or why don't you look the stuff over? Huh?
Trying to think.
Well, firsthand, that have to do with the environment. So what did you say? Farming? What else can you do in the environment to make money?
I said work.
Yeah, no kidding. Work how? Work on what?
Like factories.
Yeah, but that's not the environment. That's in a factory.
I don't get what you're asking.
When you look around, it's natural. It's in nature. How can you make jobs in nature? Yes, you just CDB 6051. You just ask questions. Yep, just chat in questions.
Farming, that's all I can think of.
What else could you do?
I don't know.
Well, how about what do you think happens up north, where we're from?
Boating.
Not boating.
Fishing.
Fishing. That's one. What about all these things, these green tall things you see outside?
Trees.
What's that called?
Lumber.
Forestry. Lumber.
Let's not brainstorm all the big ways we kill the environment.
Well, but that's a primary economic activity. And then one more thing, you have to go underground to do it.
Coal mining.
Mining. All right, so I want you to study those, not necessarily the cards, okay?
Okay.
And I have to do this and go have dinner, and then then we'll do it. All right, good, Michael. It says you just got quizzed by your mom and you did well. You didn't do good. You did well. So types of government, first of all, I don't know if you saw the infographic that I put on Edmodo on longitude and latitude, but it's pretty cool. So,
Remember the Diet Dr. Pepper with no caffeine?
Yep. So I posted it after school, or like 7th period or something. So check that out because it's really interesting. It's a really cool graphic on latitude and longitude. Landform vocab. Yes, there are, Kinsey. You need to know the names of the kinds of landforms that were on the vocab. So archipelago, isthmus, things like that. You need to know those. Yes, you do. That will be on the test, Kinsey. I'm looking on my iPad for the government paper I posted. But I'm pretty sure you made a foldable on that. And my iPad's being really slow. You need to know the difference between cultural borrowing and cultural diffusion. Okay? And we talked about that. I think it was Michael that said that cultural diffusion is spread and change. I really like that. That was a really great way of describing it. Whereas cultural borrowing is where you just use something from another culture, but you don't change your whole culture around it. Do we have to know all the ABCs of culture? Of course not. But you need to know that if I give you an
That's what I'm
example,
working on right now.
I know. If I give you an example of some sort of a tradition, you need to be able to tell me that it's an example of a culture. But no, you do not have to memorize the ABCs of culture.
Lucky. I said lucky.
You have to remember A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, all the way to 26. You do not.
Well, I think we do. I don't
No,
know.
you don't. You have to do a project on it. Similar format to the quiz. I mean, it's multiple choice. I just happen to have it right here. Just saying. It's multiple choice. You have to know how to read a map. You have to know how to read a chart. That was one of the things on there. You need to know the difference between a physical map and a political map. Hang on. My dog's crying outside because she went in the pool and I won't let her in. So if you were shown a map, you'd be able to determine whether it's a physical map or a political map. Hang on, I'm looking at, okay. There's the types of government video. I really recommend you watching it. It's the post is September 13th for the types of government video, so I really recommend it that you watch that. I also put on there the notes that you were supposed to fill in for types of government. Ooh. So you could practice by filling in new ones, but there was anarchy, constitutional monarchy, republic, direct democracy, communism, dictatorship, and absolute monarchy. So you need to know the level of government. And I think every single one of you, if you thought this through, like think of okay, thank you, Michael. I'm sure you got this, buddy. Think about like when Tatiana was, sorry, there we go. When Tatiana was, she was absolute monarchy when we did that project, or when we did that simulation. And monarchy means a monarch or royalty. And she was the only one who could make decisions. And she couldn't do any of the work, but she was the only one who could make decisions. So that would be unlimited government because they had to listen to everything she said. Whereas a constitutional monarchy is spread between having laws by Michael and having a monarch. So there is limited government in a constitutional monarchy versus an absolute monarchy. So I think the best way to remember the government is to, get out of here. The best way to remember government is to think about the simulation that we did. I think that's going to help you the most. But there's lots of stuff on Enmodo. Don't forget, you have the culture video, the geography video, the government video, the economics video. So you have lots of ways that you can review other than just looking at that list of things that you need to know. It sounds like the biggest issue for people is going to be the landforms and water features, and that shouldn't be that hard. That landform vocabulary should be in your interactive notebook. Make sure you know the definitions of ethnic groups, cultural diffusion, cultural borrowing, all that stuff. Ethnic group. Oh, you look pretty.
Thanks.
All right, so what? Hang on, guys. My daughter's going to a concert. So,
Isn't that cute, Molly? I haven't looked in the mirror. Does it actually look good?
yeah, it looks good. What? It starts at 9. Are you taking the car and meeting her somewhere? Or
She's here, actually.
okay, so you leaving? Okay, well, have fun.
Thanks.
Be safe. Make your
I
choices.
know I'm a really crazy kid, so
I know. All right, I gotta kiss my kid. Hang on.
I
love you.
I'll remember tonight. I promise. I
Yes,
forgot.
please. That's okay.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, baby. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how many questions are on the test because you have 90 minutes to take the test. So don't worry about how many questions are on the test. But there's multiple choice. How to read a chart or a graph. Let's see. Don't answer it, please. And there'll be a couple of short answers. All right, 1, 2, 3 short answers. So you have plenty of time to do this test. GKP. See, the first time I do these Ustreams, I have to try to guess everybody's name. GKP. Wait. G. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
G. Oh man, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat and look. Tyler Swag. Does Mr. Massengill and you have the same test? No, we do not have the same test. Mine's way harder. Now everybody in the department uses a similar test, but we all kind of tweak it to make it particular to our class. So I know the things that we worked on the most. So those are the whole idea behind a test is not to trick you or to find something that you couldn't possibly know. That's not why we take a test. We give you guys a test so that we get a feel for how much you remember, how much you know, how much, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. How much you have remembered. And I know we just did the create a country, but some people do better on creative things, some people do better on tests, some people do great on both. It's fine, but it's just another way of evaluating you. So I don't give you questions on the test to make your life miserable. I do it just to see what kind of a thinker you are. Also remember, you have STAR, and you have to know how to take a test. So that's another reason why we give tests. Don't get into a Massengill. Tyler Swag says his sister has Massengill. Well, it doesn't matter because she's taking her test tomorrow too, right? Oh wait, if it's Flex, she might have hers the next day, and then you could help her. No, they're very different. CDB, I feel like I'm going to fail. C. Wait, I'm thinking. I'm going around the table. C. See, I'm not going to look at my grade book. I'm going to try to figure out C. What names begin with C?
Huh?
What names begin with C?
What names?
Yeah, Charlie. No, I don't have a Charlie in my class.
Colton.
Colton. No, Connor. Connor, no, I don't. Connor's last name isn't a B.
Colby?
Colby. Nope, I don't have a B. No, I don't have a Colton, I mean. Catherine. No, I don't have a C, Catherine.
Kate.
Chloe! Oh my gosh! Oh, I had her sister. Oh, that's bad. Sorry, Chloe. Oh, sorry. Um, oh, Chloe, I'm sorry. Chloe, I don't know why you feel like you're going to fail, but what you should do, if you really feel like you're going to fail, then I want you to look at this list on Edmodo and ask me the questions that you're struggling with the most. Also, come in the morning. I'm there at 7 o'clock. Come in during lunch. But don't be afraid to ask questions. Chloe, you're a really good student. There's no reason why you should feel like you're going to fail. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Ask my daughter, who keeps yelling from the cheap seats back there. If you're convinced you're going to fail, you'll fail. Because you decide your whole affect and your whole attitude towards the test. If you feel like you're going to fail, you're going to struggle, and that's go in confident, not overly confident. So you're like, I got this, I don't need to study, but definitely go, definitely go in confident. Okay. Your sister had, Tyler Swag says his sister had the test today. Well, it's not the same test, but it's going to be a lot of the same material. We taught the same stuff. Every sixth grade world cultures teacher does, so it's not that big a deal. All right, so ask if you guys have specific areas that you feel like you need me to explain more. Go for it. I only had 2 people show up for tutoring this afternoon, so that tells me that you guys are all really busy, or you got it. You got it all figured out. Yes, tomorrow morning, Chloe, if that's what you're talking about. You can come in. I'm in by 7 usually. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, I'm in by 7, and you can stay during lunch. But you have to ask me specific questions, because one thing about tutoring is I'm not going to reteach everything I've taught. You should come in with a specific set of questions, and that's why I suggested that you mark red, yellow, and green in those areas that you're struggling with. So let's talk about the reds. We don't need to talk about the greens because you already got it. Yes, you can come tomorrow at 7, Chloe. That's totally fine. And if it's 7 o'clock and I'm not there yet, I haven't forgotten. I don't know, running late or something. But I promise you I will be there as close to 7 as humanly possible. But make sure you bring questions, okay? So, when it says on the review, practice reading a chart.
Whoa.
Hey, Meg,
Excuse me.
could you do me a favor?
Pardon me?
Could you do me a favor?
Yes.
Could you look next to my bed for a pair of glasses? Because I'm having trouble seeing. Okay, so when it says practice reading the chart, it doesn't mean you have to memorize the chart. You have to know how to read a chart. So you have to be able to look at something and read the title, read what the picture graphics, like does 1 football equals, awesome, thanks honey, 2
Basketball.
yeah, like you all know how to read a pictograph. You learn that in
Second grade.
math. But don't laugh at my glasses. This is my home Cheetos. Oh, they're crooked. There we go. So just know how to read a chart. You don't have to know how to read that chart. Yes, you can come in during lunch. Tyler Swag, you can come during lunch. But you have to come up with specific questions. All right? And on this review, it has what pages you're supposed to be looking for, like the main reasons for conflict. Tyler, you says, never mind, we have you 3rd period. Don't forget tomorrow's flex. So 3rd period is last period. It goes 1, 2, 4, flex 3. So even though you have me 3rd period, you can still come in during lunch because it won't be till after lunch. Yes, Gracie, it's like reading a graph. I mean, Jillian, it's like it's reading a graph. Kinsey, what does push and pull movement mean? Did you look in the textbook at that? Because let's see, I want to give you a good definition of it. Megan, oh, she has a quiz on that too tomorrow on the same stuff. Oh, hang on. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I should have brought my textbook home, and I didn't. Okay. Did you define, Kinsey, did you define push and pull in your notes? Because I'm pretty sure those were one of the ones that you had to define in your notes. Hang on. I'm trying to get you a good definition from the textbook. Hang on. Industrial and developing countries. So industrial countries are countries that have some sort of industry, have some sort of economy where they usually make something or turn something into something else. Hang on. So an industry would be.
Do they know the difference between raw materials and produced goods?
No, but that's.
Because that's the main difference.
Yeah. Well, but produced would be industrialized.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So an industry is where something is made. So that's what industry means. So and it makes work so if you have something, if you have an economy that is based on industry, there are jobs available for people. So that's an industrialized country. A developing country relies on raw materials. That's what my daughter just said. And she's smarter than me. Which are found naturally in the country. So it's not something you make, it's something you find in the environment. But you all, I wish I had my textbook because I want to read you the textbook definition, but you all defined these on your in your interactive notebook. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, my dog keeps barking. Okay, latitude, lat, flat. Lat, flat. Lat is straight across. Okay? I guess Tyler said side to side. Yeah, you could say that, but lat, flat. So it goes across. And then longitude is long, up and down. Okay, so Tyler Rose, you're asking me what ethnocentrism means, but you were supposed to define it in your interactive notebook. So where's your definition? Where's your definition? So look up your definition, because that's where you're going to get the best answer, because that's the one that came from the textbook. Let's see. I'm confused on what it means. Conflict and cooperation. Like, what is that asking us to do or no? Okay, let me go back to Edmodo. Okay, give me a second, guys, all right? I want to check something. So in the folders, hang on, people. All right, that's not what I want. Hang on, guys. Hang on here. 32. All right. Hang on. I like that. So ethnocentrism and ethnocentrism means attitude that one's own ethnic group is superior. That's exactly what it means. Nice job. What?
This is how many I know.
Honey, I'm in the middle of this. You got to keep moving then.
It's good.
That's not that many.
It's like 30.
Oh, okay. So it says here in the book, because the chapter is in the folder. Yes, an industrialized country is definitely America. Japan is another one.
What?
Industrialized nation.
I have that on my test.
I know. Should have Abby just sit next to us and. Yeah, Abby's gonna come teach my class. Yes, just get your stupid ID, and then you come and hang out with me. That would be fun. Go get your ID, and then you come to school with me tomorrow. What? I know, but you could come to school with me tomorrow. I'm just looking at what page it's on. Pretty sure it said it in the okay, so yes, it is in your interactive notebook. Thank you. That's what I keep saying. So industrialized countries hold 97%. It says of all patents, which means the rights to inventions. So when something's invented, you get a patent on it so nobody else can take credit for it. Many countries in Europe and North America, as well as Australia, Japan, and South Korea, are industrialized countries. Other countries have only a few manufacturing centers. Many people in these countries grow only enough food for their own families. Countries that are working towards industrialization are called developing countries. Most developing countries are found in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Latin America usually means Central or South America. Okay, I'm confused on what it means, conflict and cooperation. Oh yeah, I said I was going to look at that, didn't I? Hang on, let me look up the, if I go back out of this, I'm going to open another tab, so hang on one second. Well, this is so much faster. Okay, so conflict and cooperation. All right. And so it asks, what are the main reasons for conflict? So chapter 1 only goes to 32, and it says it's on 36. But basically, why do you think most countries get into a conflict? And if we've talked about conflict, I mean, I'm sure you've heard about conflict, in other words, war. What usually happens and what creates war? What creates that conflict? So the question is just asking what sorts of things create conflict between countries. So what do you think? Like, write down what you think is the answer to that, because I really think if you think about it, you can figure it out. I'm going to see if I can get page 36 on the... Kinsey's got it. What about culture, Kinsey? What do you think is one of the biggest? That's one of the biggest ones. What do you think about culture is a reason for people to be in conflict? Let me just find this stuff here. Max, what are you doing, honey?
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing. My knee hurts.
Well, it's usually, it says like with other countries or within one country. Well, there's definitely conflict within one country. That would be called a civil war. And
Yeah.
those are definitely,
Okay.
there are definitely cultural causes for a civil war as well. So you need to understand what those are as well. But I'm talking about country to country. Hang on, I'm just looking at... That's so strange, because chapter 1 ends at 32, it looks like. Hang on. Bear with me here. Oh, okay. I get it now. Here we go. Okay, so if you look at chapter 1, in the library, which is in Edmodo, and it's on page 36, just like it says. It's on page 19 of 32 if you're counting how many pages are in the chapter, but it's actually on page 36. And it says, very few, if any, countries have been free of conflict in their history. As technology brings us closer together, however, nations are beginning to understand the importance of cooperation. Disagreement over land is a common reason for conflict between groups and nations. This is especially true when one culture has been displaced or moved by another culture. An example is Israelis and Palestinians, for example, have been fighting over land for more than 50 years. In Eastern Europe, wars have broken out over who should control the land in countries once ruled by the former Soviet Union. So it is oftentimes over land and culture. So, and then it says these conflicts are also about religion, race, and politics. So they can be about a lot of things, unfortunately. So it's only asking you why do you think some countries have conflict? Like, why do countries have conflict between them? That's what that question's about, okay? I mean, you know what the word cooperation means, so that's certainly not going to be on the test. So let's see. So you'll need to be able to read a map, know parts of a map, okay? Like I said, know the difference between a physical map and a political map. Know longitude and latitude. Know what they are. And if I were going to give you coordinates, you'd be able to tell me where it is on a map and then what continent that those coordinates are on. So if the coordinates lined up and put you in Asia, you would be able to tell me that the continent that those coordinates put you on Asia. Like I said, you are going to need to know how to read a map, okay? Not memorize a map, a chart, not a map, a chart, but read a chart. What is an ethnic group? We talked about that. Now, somebody had asked if you have to memorize the ABCs of culture. Absolutely not. But you do have to know examples of culture. So if I were to give you an example of certain aspects of American culture or certain aspects of Chinese culture, and I'd say, what are these examples of? You'd say culture, not economy, not government, not geography. You'd say culture. You need to know what kind of a government the United States has. You need to know who were some of the rulers that were the main people that we talked about as giving examples of dictatorships and things like that. Latitude comes first, yes. Latitude always comes first. So it's north and south, and then east-west. I was just answering a question on here. You need to know, just a minute, Luna. Countries with a lot of manufacturing, a lot of industries. That's an industrialized country. We already said that. What is a refugee? And why do they leave the area? What makes them refugees to begin with? Understand what globalization means. Globalization just means where the country is becoming easier and easier to communicate with people. And they rely on other countries for lots of different things. People aren't as isolated in our society anymore. It's become more globalized, more worldly. Let's see. This one, this chapter is really helpful. That's in the library, by the way. What does latitude measure? Well, it measures which hemisphere it's in. Latitude, lat is flat, remember? 0 degrees latitude is the equator. Anything north is in the northern hemisphere, and anything south is in the southern hemisphere. So it tells you which hemisphere it's in, north or south. And then there'll be some short answers. So where you explain something like paragraph form, but not very long. I want to call it essay. I guess it could be a short essay. Latitude is north and south and is divided by the equator. Yes, that is true. Let's see. Like I said, understand the difference between diffusion and borrowing. Cultural diffusion and cultural borrowing. Let's see. Yeah, this is a really good chapter. Everything you need to know is really in here. think I might have my daughter read it, even though she's in 9th grade. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I was saying Megan's getting tested on this same stuff. I might have her read this chapter. All right, so will there be a word? No. There won't be a word where you have to write the definition. The whole thing is multiple choice except the short essay questions. But no, there's no matching or anything like that. What are you doing? Sit up. You need to study.
Yes, ma'am.
So just like I said, multiple choice and then essay. All right, people. Well, I'm tired and I think we've covered everything. So I'll wait a couple, like another minute. I'll go to 6:50. And then, so ask any specific questions that you have now, or you can come in for tutoring at 7. You can come in for lunch, but if you come in for lunch, it has to be for tutoring. Although I love your company, ladies, tomorrow it has to be for tutoring only, okay? So I'll wait till 6:50 at 6:47, and if you have any other questions, make sure you ask them soon. Where are your papers? Are those the ones you don't know?
Yeah.
Can I have the ones you do know?
Let me shuffle them up.
Where it says, what is a globe? Does that mean a globe is a 3D replica of the Earth? Yeah, that's what it is. It's not an exact replica because it can't be exact, but it's pretty close. Tells you where the water and the land is. Oh my goodness gracious. What's a monarchy?
Belonging into the royal family.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing constitutional monarchy and absolute monarchy?
No.
Oh, okay. My 6th graders are. Mm-hmm. What is an example of fossil fuel?
Gas, oil,
Gas, oil, and what?
natural resources.
Coal, oil, natural gas. Can we have a paper that we wrote for the test? Seriously? Okay. I don't understand. Can we have a paper that we wrote for the test? I don't know what that means. I just got here. What do you mean by an essay? Sandra says it's not an essay. There's just going to be some questions at the end of the test where you have to write in sentences as opposed to multiple choice. And I'm confused about migrate versus refugees. Well, I think you mean migration, but refugees are people that are usually forced to leave their country. Either the government has sent them out or some sort of conflict. That's what refugees are. And migration is when people or even animals move to a new area for one reason or another. Animals, it's usually because of food. You hear about butterflies migrating, birds migrating, whales migrating to follow food. So migration is usually because like if there's the smarty pants daughter that thinks she's going to come in and add something. Do you have something to add, Abby?
To be a refugee, you have to leave your country.
Okay. To be a refugee, you have to leave your country. I didn't say that?
You didn't specify.
No. You have to leave your
You have
country.
to leave your borders to be considered a refugee. If you only move to another place inside of your country, you're an internally displaced person.
An internally displaced what? Person.
I sniffed.
Come down and say hello. Say, no, you're there. Say,
Hi.
hi, that's mini-me.
This is what I do. This
Yes.
stuff right here.
That's her
But
job.
to be a refugee, you have to leave the borders of your country. And like my mom said, it can be because the government pushed you out. There's a conflict. It can also be if there's a natural disaster. But like one clarification, like people who had to leave New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina, they weren't actually refugees because they didn't leave the United States. But if you, a lot of the natural disasters, like in Africa, there are droughts or things like that where they actually have to leave their country to go find food or whatever in another country. Those are refugees. Or all the people who have to leave Syria right now because it's too dangerous to be there, so they're in Jordan or Turkey instead. Those are refugees. But if they stay inside Syria, they're not a refugee.
Right. Thank you, Abby.
Hmm.
And actually, that's where the push and the pull comes in, because it says right here, which I'm sure you wrote in your interactive notebooks, that people have been moving from place to place since the dawn of time. Sometimes places pull people with opportunities for freedom and a better life. So an example would be why people left England to come to the New World, to establish colonies here in America. It pulled them with the promise of freedom. But sometimes places are unstable, governments are unstable, poverty, like Abby was saying, different reasons. People get pushed out. So that's the push and pull thing that you were talking about. Will there be a question about every single thing on Edmodo? No, not necessarily, but you need to, they're all interrelated too. So there's no guarantee that, you know, if you study one, you're really studying for another, because all of this stuff goes together. So you should not have any problem. Can we have a paper that we wrote for the tests? I still don't understand, like our study guide answers. You mean use it on the test, Tyler? Are you crazy? No, you can't. Oh my gosh. No, you cannot use notes on the test. I know some teachers do that. Not Mrs. Walsh, baby. No way. Do you have to be forced out to be a refugee? No, you don't have to be forced out, because sometimes, like Abby said, it can be a natural disaster. And you're leaving because there's no food or water, so nobody's making you leave. But if you don't leave, you could die. So I guess maybe that's the forcing. But in order to be a refugee, you have to leave your country. But you don't have to be forced out. But remember that push and pull. Some places you get pulled because of opportunities, and some places you get pushed because of things that have happened in the country. So like I said, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning tutoring, lunch tutoring, and I'm going to go have my dinner. So if you want to read over the chapter, that'd probably be a great thing to do. Try the practice questions in the back of the chapter, which are on Edmodo. Just watch the videos. Just read your notes. Just study. That's all. I'm not going to try to give you any trick questions, people. This is not, it's not really, I don't think it's that hard a test, but then again, I'm the teacher, so I'm a bad judge. So, sweet dreams, everybody, and peace.